Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome as always to our coffee times to discuss movies. And today I'm here to talk to you about a Netflix mystery thriller that actually was a nice watch, and that is See For Me.
It's coffee time.
So lately I've been complaining a lot about the lack of good thrillers on Netflix. I feel like most of their new exclusives and new releases have been just such like cookie cutter characters and such cliche plots and twists that I've seen done 300 times before. And I'm here to talk to you about a movie that, despite not being perfect, I thought at least was something different, and it's something worth your time. This is a Canadian thriller film directed by Randall Okita, and it stars Skylar Davenport as Sophie, a visually impaired teenager who's house sitting for a wealthy client when three criminals break into the house to rob it. So everything that Sophie has to defend herself is a new app that her mom installed for her called See For Me, that it is supposed to help the blind when they are in situations where they need assistance, somebody to tell them how to do things, where to go, and all of these things. So the plot is fairly simple. We have Sophie. She is taking care of a house for the weekend and the cat while the owner is on a trip, and she's gonna stay there just to take care of things. She's done it before, but her bad luck is that a couple of guys break into the house trying to steal something while she's still inside because they don't know that she's in there, and that's when things get messy. So Sophie has to use this new app called See For Me, and she connects with Kelly, who is part of the support crew from this app, and she tells Sophie what to do, where to go, where things are, and is trying to assist her to, at the beginning, you know, solve small problems, but then she obviously needs to help her survive from the attack of this man. So Sophie as a character, it is quite interesting because this is the main character that I had problems rooting for, and I feel that was actually the point, and that is why she is introduced as a character that it is not very likable from the get-go. So Sophie was a former skier, and then she was declared legally blind, and she has been struggling with that. She misses her old life. She's still very stuck on that, and she's really frustrated and angry, and you can see that with the relationship that she has with her mom. Her mom is pushing her, you know, to have a normal life, to do things outside again, but Sophie just wants to do things her way, and she finds these jobs like house sitting, cat sitting for people that are really rich to get some money, and she's making a lot of money out of that. In this movie, our main character is a legally blind main character trapped in a house with people that break in. So obviously my mind made a direct comparison to Hush, where we have Kate Siegel locked in her house, but she's deaf instead of blind, but it's kind of a little bit the same dynamic. Of course, I could also compare this movie a little bit with Don't Breathe. So I feel like if you've enjoyed Don't Breathe or Hush, you would definitely enjoy See For Me, because it kind of has a little bit the same concept. But unlike Kate Siegel and Hush, which was a really likable character that you root for, with Sophie is the opposite. I felt like they developed her as a character to confuse people, to make people question her, and at the end of the day, you're not really rooting for her. There was a point in the film where Sophie's moral ambiguity was a little bit much, and it comes to the point where sympathizing with her becomes nearly impossible. This is not the fault of the main actress at all. I think that she was really strong, really smart, and Davenport in real life is actually legally blind, which I felt like was something really important for this film, because it is a really believable character, even though she's not a character that I loved, but I could see her real struggles. Sophie as a character is going to be challenged because she's going to be facing a new situation for her, which is basically being trapped in a house with these men that have just broken into the house and she not being able to see. And you're gonna see her character struggle change and try to fight for her life together with the help of Kelly, that is guiding her through the app See4Me. And Kelly as a character, I kind of wish I would have seen more of her because I really liked her as a character. She's a gamer that kind of works part-time for this app See4Me, and she ends up being basically Sophie's only help in order to survive the attack of this man. And I really liked her as a character. I kind of wish that we would have seen a little bit more of her, even though I completely understand that for the storyline it didn't make sense to give her more screen time. So with this app, Kelly is able to tell Sophie, you know, where she can hide, if the coast is clear, but that is also kind of a little bit of a problem when it comes to building up the tension and the thrills for the film, because you don't have here a completely defenseless blind character trapped in the house with this man. You have someone that has assistance, that has help in order to hide, in order to fight back. So it kind of takes away a little bit this helplessness feeling, this kind of more abandoned character to this man, and I felt like that took away a little bit of that thrill. So I felt like that kind of took away the threat element in the film, but that is also a little bit why I really enjoy the movie, is that they brought something a little bit new to the table and incorporated something modern like this new app in a horror movie. The script takes also a couple of interesting twists and turns, and I really enjoyed it to see a blind character that is not completely defenseless, that is not just a victim, that has a mind of her own, that is really strong-willed and has, you know, a way of making her own choices in life. You might like her more or less, but still is a very strong and smart main character. Even though as a viewer I might not have agreed with all of Sophie's choices and decisions, I really enjoyed to see that they completely removed all the stereotypes that we see sometimes in this film when it comes to blind characters. The director uses wide shots to make use of the corners and the hallways, and it is a very suspenseful way to show just one wrong step would place Sophie in harm's way. And I also really appreciated that the director doesn't even bother with jump scares. That's not what this movie is about, and I really appreciated that. So that's another plus point for this film. The director really utilized the whole set and really played with the light and a lot of different elements in order to achieve that tension, in order to deliver correctly those twists and turns, even though sometimes they were a little bit goofy at times. But I feel like where the movie kind of declined a little bit more for me was towards the ending. But I really enjoy the movie visually, and I feel like when it comes to the plot, it really keeps you engaged from the beginning to the very end. At the end of the day, I ended up giving this movie a 3 out of 5. Definitely recommend you guys to check it out on Netflix. I feel like this movie was only 92 minutes running time, but it was a well-paced film with a lot of thrills and twists and turns, and I feel like it brought something a little bit new to the table. This is an exciting home invasion movie because it brings you a main character that it is a little bit more complex, and it is a character that it is a little bit ambiguous and you don't know if you are rooting for them or not. And even though at times the movie might not have been, you know, perfect, I still feel like this is a really solid thriller. If I compare it to other recent thrillers that were released on Netflix, this one is definitely worth your time. Like I said, if you love movies like Don't Breathe or Hush, definitely give this one a try and let me know how it went. Alright guys, so these were my thoughts on See4You, now streaming on Netflix. Let me know down below if you watched the film and what you thought about it, or if you knew of any other movies like this, horrors or thrillers that have main characters with this type of disabilities, because I would like to check out more if there's any that I still have not seen. Let's talk about it in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I hope to see you all as always in our next coffee time. Bye!